Good name. What's the name again?
Teocrazia.
Oh, cool. Greek.
Is it what the T series?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, hello everyone. We're here with Daniele Tascini. We're here to talk about his new game, Tzolk'in, right?
Teocrazia.
Okay, typically I butcher one game. So we have the prototype version here, kind of, just like testing it. Can you tell us a little bit about the game, how it works exactly and everything?
Sure. As you can see, it's a new version of Terra Mystica.
Yeah.
Because I use all the pieces of the former game. No, I'm joking, of course. Has nothing to do with it. Just use the pieces. So it's a very short and compact civilization game. Which lasts only 5 turns, so the game should be 1 hour and a half, no more. But the trick is that the players doesn't own the civilizations, but they play the roles of gods that try to influence the way the civilization will develop.
Yeah.
The aim of the game, the aim of the player is to be worshipped by them.
Yeah.
So those are the player colors that correspond to some part of the terrain. The core mechanism is a dice drafting game where the player in turn can choose a simple action like expanding the civilization or growing up or making a war. But the trick is that I can, no matter the color, I can decide to apply the action to any civilization. So in any turn, any player can control all the civilizations.
Yeah.
If the color matches, I get an additional bonus because you are just thematically I'm following the destiny, because when you roll the dice at random, it basically gives a direction to the civilization that you might ignore or follow.
Yeah.
What you will do playing the game is getting worshipped by the civilization, because these are the player track. The civilization itself, at the end of the round, they follow some cards that tells what they will do alone, and you try to get benefits out of it during the gameplay. At the end of the game, you will have a certain value of the civilization that you will multiply for how much they adore you on your track. In imperial fashion.
Yes.
But you will ignore the highest one, so you can focus on the civilization. That's the idea.
It's a nice twist. I especially like. I'm always a big fan of dice drafting games, and the fact when you have to make crunchy decisions, do I want to go for the double bonus or not? Yeah, it sounds really, really interesting. So, how far would you say you're along with the design and so on, and everything else? It's like 100%
for this game.
Yeah.
It's supposed to come out next session, so just the game is ready. I'm just tuning, some balancing because there are also cards.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to balance the fine tuning.
Yeah, the play testing and everything. Okay, yeah, that sounds really cool.
So how many games are you working on at the same time?
Okay. The idea is having always 3 games, one at the final stage, one in developing stage, and a new idea you start. That's the ideal, Then in the end never works because they all go stuck at the end, so you have to...
So where's your heart usually at the beginning? Was it the early one or the later one?
Sorry?
Where's your heart mostly?
Of course, always the new one, that's the problem. Because when you have a new idea, you can't wait to work on it. And when you are at the point where the game more or less works, you see a shape, but then you get stuck in some problem, Maybe you have too much downtime on certain action, or it's too fiddly on a certain. Then it's work, You need to find out how to fix those problems without ruining the game or without giving up on some ideas. So that's something you really don't want to do. No designer wants to do that. But you need to do that to finalize the game. But you can't wait to work on a new idea you had. So
how difficult to kill something that you love?
It's not a matter of killing your baby. It's a matter that every idea usually has a story, You put it there for a reason. Yes. So sometimes you really need to go over it, but you need to say, okay, let's detach from the game and question you. If I remove this, players will know them. It's really a big loss for the game. So this is the question you have to ask yourself. It's not easy. I agree.
Another question: if a designer is like an artist, are you ever happy with the end product?
If you don't have deadline, you keep working forever on the game. But on the other hand, as I said before, once you know that the game went over, you can focus on a new idea. You're happy. So
I think you got something else to go to.
There's always expansions.
as a player, I don't mind of expansion. I don't like them. As a designer, I don't like it either because it's like forcing something that you already done. Publisher love expansions because it's an easy way to make more money.
Of course.
Normally, it's always the publisher that asks you an expansion for the game. It's rarely the opposite.
It's always a mixed bag with expansions. You never know.
Okay, some games need it, like Tzolk'in. The asymmetrics players are something that should be embedded in the game, but we decided not to put in the basic game, not for commercial reasons, but because the game might be too much complex. Because since the gear things was tricky and the player had problems in getting into the game, we didn't want to add the same reason why we didn't add the 5th players in the basic game. The game was supporting it perfectly, so it could be up to 5. But if the new players learn the game and playing 5 people the first game, it takes forever. They might end up hating the game, So sometimes some decisions are made taking into account different things. So for example, Tzolk'in, everything in the expansion could be part of the basic game, so the game really needed it. But we decided to split it up because not to make more money, but to make the game go smooth into the market.
It's a good example.
10 years ago.
Some other games like Teotihuacan is a modular game. So expansion is natural. You can do expansion forever there because it's the kind of game. Other game like Tiletum doesn't need expansion because it's complete. So the publishers keep asking me expansion for the game, but for me something I really don't want to do it, because it's
not only the publisher might be on Board Game Geek people, when is the expansion coming?
But some players like expansion itself because they love the game, but they should understand an expansion should add something valuable to the game, not just because it's always easy to add a new part. Let's say this is a new part, you play it more. But to me, as a designer, as a player, that's not elegant. The expansion should be, you should feel that it's a part of the game that's really needed.
Of course.
Tzolk'in is another underrated game.
But Tekkenu is an unlucky game because Tekkenu has 8 as an average on Board Game Geek, so it's not underrated. But the problem is, Tekkenu it was a wicked game. He came out under COVID, so there were no SM. So he went to the market without any
PR, no
showing. So that was a big loss. And another thing happened that a container of games to the United States was stolen in a port in Florida. So it missed the Christmas sales, It was a mess because they stole the container, they lost the game, they had to. So Tekken is a really wicked game because people liked it, but for some reason it didn't went through as it should be.
Especially with such a small.
What is underrated is Tabannusi, in my opinion, because Tabannusi was taken cold by the player, but to me it's the most original game I did after Tzolk'in.
I think it's a great game. It's really good.
Well, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm going to try
mechanism with the two worker placements at the same time. Your current one, what's the next one? It's such an interesting mechanic.
It has something of Tzolk'in, the vertical program, because you need to program what you are going to do next.
And that push and pull of what's good, what's easy, and what's you're greedy, so you make difficult decisions. It's really good.
Tzolk'in's a classic, right? At this point, but for sure. I want. He's basically putting me on to trying the whole T series. So
I want to play the whole series in a couple of one per week.
you can have a thematic day, you know, morning to night. But yeah, so I really appreciate all your efforts and designing skills because we're also both trying to design games. So that's why we're constantly trying new stuff, and just seeing what the prototype looks like reminds us of what our prototypes look like.
Okay, so when you put down your idea, let me know so I will check it.
We'll definitely, yeah. Well, it's gonna have to be really good.